Is that your background music? I said, man, that's something different. You playing music. All right. Yeah. All right. So, all right, everybody. We ready, Mr. Walker? Cool. All right. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? You tuned in to another episode of Street Therapy KC. With your man, I'm Christopher Jackson, CJ. I am sitting here in the home studio. So we get everything squared away. We're doing this live and direct. Mr. Walker's on the ones and twos once again. Today is June the 29th, 2021. All right, so as before I jump into the show, we got a few days before the 4th of July, and hope everybody's safe on that day and celebrate your families and things like that. So without further ado, got a pretty good show for you today. I got a couple of folks I'd like to introduce to you. One that's been on the show before, and some other gentlemen that'll be their first time. But without further ado, looks like I got one with me right now, so I guess I'll go ahead and introduce him. John, are you with us? Yeah, you on mute, brother. If you're saying something, we can't hear you. Can't hear you. All
All
right.
right, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. What's happening, man? Yeah, yeah. Are you? Yeah, we can't see you, man. Are you somewhere where you can show your face, or you not? Oh,
Yes,
what's going on? Uh oh.
yes, sir.
John, what's
How
up,
you
man?
doing?
Man,
I'm good. How you
good. How you
doing?
doing? Man, I'm good. We
I'm
are doing
blessed.
good. Glad to have you with us.
Glad to be
So,
here.
absolutely. So Jesse and invited you into the show.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
tell us a little bit about yourself, John.
Uh, I do some gospel rap music, and I'm a minister at St. Jude Family Memorial Outreach Center, and
Okay,
I don't know, just a servant of God.
right on, right on, right. So you from born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri.
Now, I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, right on. So you do gospel rap, man. How long you been doing gospel rap, brother?
Put my first project out this year.
Okay, okay. What's the name and the title of it?
God's Disciple. The album is called Rise.
Yeah, yeah. How's the reviews, man? What it look like?
I mean, it's going good as long as I'm able to bring the word forth. That's and make a joyful noise unto the Lord. It's good for me.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Where's that strength come from, man? On your lyrics and everything, man. Where do you draw from when you're on you rapping about the gospel?
Really, I was just supporting my guy Uptown. He was a rapper with a group called God's Anointed
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers, and I was just selling
Uh huh.
CDs, and they gave me a beat one day, and I was like, man, I don't rap, and like Moses, when God
Yeah.
called him and said, I'm not an eloquent speaker, I was the same way, and it's something I've kind of, let the Holy Spirit speak through me, and it's a way to reach people. So
Man, that's dope, man. That's amazing. Oftentimes we find some of those things we find them by accident, man, and we stumble into our purpose.
amen.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I know we about 15 minutes in. I know we got some other folks jumping in, man. Can you spit us a line, man, so we can hear a little bit of
Oh man. Okay, on the spot. Let me think of one I got real quick. It's God's disciple in this rap game. I fight with my pen and kamikaze like Samson. Call my next to kin. Been sleeping like Daniel in the lion's den. Slapping paws with these cats like we was best friends. Living for Christ, trying not to sin. And 10 years in the zoo, now I'm out the pen. It's just a little something. Yes,
There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, I like to hear more of that when you get it together, man.
sir.
Yeah. So you're serving, man. How do you find your how do you find your purpose while you're at Saint, you said Saint Jude's or Saint Mary's?
St. Jude. St. Jude. So
Saint Jude. Wow, man, that's heavy, man. So how do you find when you're at St. Jude, man? There's a lot of hurting kids and things like that in St. Jude's, man. What how do you offer just the hope and experience, man? And what do you get from that?
and you the
That's a
first
calling. That's calling right there.
and you the first one that called that right. People be like, you Catholic or something? Now we named after the Children's Hospital. It's an outreach center. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just good to not just bring the word, but be able to do things like cut the church grass and help people when they need help.
yeah,
That's what we
yeah,
call the do.
yeah.
So, because I went up
Right.
tried to go up that ladder before, and God gonna take all of you out of it before it's just say hiding behind the cross.
Yeah,
So
yeah, John. John, is definitely, man. You have to realize that it ain't even you, man. And that's something that I've had to realize that, oftentimes when I think it's me doing it, man, I find out that it ain't just me, it's God doing the moving, man. I think that's important. Like you said, just moving yourself out of the way, and allowing God to flow through you, you know.
yes,
And
sir.
that's funny. And that's funny in your lyric, man. You say you didn't see yourself. I guess maybe I'm quoting it right, but you didn't see yourself as eloquent as Moses did. But then you still went and allowed God to use you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I don't know, I still get nervous anytime I speak in front of people. But God, if God gonna tell you to go and He made the mouth, He gonna speak through you. Just do it. It's gonna work out, and you might help somebody. So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's
Oh,
a lot of people out here that need some
and
type of hope.
right, right. And oftentimes, man, it ain't even when definitely when we're going through the Holy Spirit, man, it ain't even us that are doing that, man. So a little bit about you, man. What your upbringing and everything like that, man. What even got you to the gospel before you did the gospel rap? You know what I'm saying?
Uh, my dad was a minister. I was named after a
Okay.
pastor in the church, and he killed himself when I was 5. So he was a minister
Oh
that went
wow.
back, yeah, he went back to
Yeah.
doing drugs, things of that nature, and the devil found his foothold, and he killed himself. My mom took up.
Yeah.
We were here in LA to the opposite coast. We,
Yeah.
we broke down. Funny you said St.
Yeah.
Mary's. We broke down in a town named St. Mary's beside Topeka. Yeah,
Wow.
so and we ended up staying there, moved to Topeka, and I
Yeah.
kind of, without having a father, I kind of got into the streets, got locked up at 13 for 3 years,
Yeah.
got locked up
Yeah.
at 18 for 10 years, got out when I was 27,
Yeah.
and I'm 41 now. So God's good. He can change anything, he can turn anything around, and sometimes you gotta go through to get to something. Testimonies come after tests, and muscles grow stronger after many reps. You gotta go through sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. You preaching right now, man. You preach right now, and man, sorry to hear about your father, but, man, that's tough, but oftentimes, like you said, you don't really get a test until you don't even really get a testimony until you get that go through that test, man. That's important, you know,
Yes, sir.
and that's how I look at it, man. Even the way that I named this show, man, I call the show Street Therapy, man. That's the name of the show. It's called Street Therapy, and I believe that we've all gone through something, man, and we always need somebody to lean on, also need somebody to talk to, or whatever the case, and that's important, man. And it's important that we share not only the gospel, man, but we share our life and our light to other people, and they need that, especially right after, man, this last year, man. How did COVID treat you, man? Did you make it through okay from COVID and Corona and all that?
You know what? I was teaching at a coffee shop, Elias Coffee Shop on Independence
Yeah,
Avenue,
yeah.
where homeless people come in, and my friend got the job picking up prostitutes and taking them to Christine's place, a
Uh-huh.
drop-in center for. Man, I was around the most high-risk people, and I drove the church van, and I didn't catch nothing. So God is good.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, yeah. That's where you're supposed to be, man. He took care of you.
Because it might be that person that was coughing that needed to know Jesus before he died, So, I made sure as long as I was moving for God, I
Yeah,
wasn't getting caught off the path smoking a blunt, drinking, or at the strip club, or so as long as I stayed on that path, I knew
yeah,
God kept you from the noise and pestilence.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. So he had you like Daniel's in the lion den. You was out there in the lion's den and going through all that stuff, but you was cool and calm. Indeed, man. Indeed. Yeah, man. COVID was real, man. I lost a good friend of mine, man. I just buried him last week from COVID, man. He fought for about 7 or 8 months, But it hit hard, he was a young minister. He ended up going through stuff and turned his life around, and made the transition to be a young minister and everything like that. So, I mean, that's awesome.
At least he had time to make that change.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So your man Jesse V from the Ministry, he should be jumping on here in just a minute, man. So how how did you two connect on just a project? Or how did y'all connect?
Man, me and Jesse were in prison together back in the
Okay,
day.
yeah,
We
yeah,
were in prison together, and we were in a pod. There was an open dorm, had like 150 people, and I walked by one day, and he was reading his Bible.
yeah,
And out of all the people, it was three of us that had Bible study every day. Me, him, and another guy. We prayed together
yeah,
in there. I got out and met up with him at a treatment spot. But he was by that time
yeah,
pregnant, and it was just part of his stipulations. And I got out, started getting high again, stuff like that. He kind of reached back for
right,
me, bring me to the church I
yeah,
go to now, and the pastor that I got now, he like a dad I never had. So yeah,
wow,
so
that's
man, you
dope, man.
never
That's
know
dope
why you in this place, man. You there for a reason. So
for sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
now we
I always go ahead.
now we
Say it
pray for
again.
us, man. It was one time we was teachers. We had offices beside each other, and it's just a blessing to see somebody that's made that change from the past, because a lot of people kept going headlong into destruction. So
Yeah, and now make it back.
yeah, right.
you know, they go and they don't make it back, man. I think that's powerful that you said that because oftentimes we definitely try to lean on people, man. As far as a mentor or a father figure or somebody, man, that we didn't get growing up. You know what I'm saying? And we see that and we glean that, but then we also see that, and it's funny because we see that within ourselves, but then we also see that lack, and we see it in other people, needing that same type of mentorship. Man, how important has that been to you, just being able to give back?
Man, it's been real important because you can't really lead until you follow.
Right.
And you got to follow somebody that's following Christ that can teach you,
Yeah.
the ups, the downs, show you the ropes. And that's what my pastor's been like to me. And we actually work
Yeah.
together. You see, I got my work shirt on.
Yeah. 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 No, hey,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
I just took mine off not too long ago, man. At least you're working, man. That's dope, man. So yeah, that's go ahead.
Jesse said the radio at the last second. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be on the Zoom thing." I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, he's been in the studio with me before, man, a few times when we were in the studio, and we're still working on getting back in the studio too. But yeah, he and his wife came, and they came again, and they brought a young gospel group with them. I think it was two or three young folks, man. They were kids, and they actually they were rapping. They came right to the studio. That's why I asked you to spit one for me, man, because they little kids, man. They came and rapped. I forgot what their name was, but whenever he does on, he can he can tell us about who they are, and in fact tell us what they're doing right now. Have you heard of them?
The verses.
Versus, yes.
Yeah,
Versus. That's exactly who it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm look. Go ahead.
We performed at a place. Yeah, they got up there and did their thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Energetic, man, and youthful. So, but man, I'm trying to answer some questions that I had set up for Jesse and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. So anyway, man, let's do this, man. What's going on in your life, brother? What's going on? Like you working hard, man. Everything's going pretty decent for you. You doing all right?
Right now, everything going pretty good. I mean, me and Jesse doing an event on July 4th,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm preaching at my church the second week of Sunday. And man, my pastor around me every day of the week. Like we work 5 days a week. We cut the church grass Saturday, Sunday church. So it's like once you get in, you in too deep. You already in. There ain't no looking back. There ain't no looking to the right or to the left. God got you. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a blessing.
Yeah. I think God did that on purpose, man. I think he did it on purpose, man, because he knows the type of heart that certain people have, man. And he puts them in those positions to really to grow them up, man. To grow them up and to pull the best out of them, man.
Right.
So and I've noticed some things within myself, even just being in the ministry and and just being saved, some things that helped me grow up, man. What are some of the things that maybe you've gone through personally, man, that you kind of reflect back on your life and look at like, man, you know what? That was a time I had to grow up, man up.
Uh, woman. Woman. So I mean, it's I've bumped into a couple of my exes, and one of them was a minister.
Wow.
She also ran a sober group, and we broke up. And when I ran into her again, she was high and not going to church. And it's just
Right.
certain things God shows you that man you need to grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Take you through it. Don't think about it. And then
Yeah.
when it happens to you, then you want to cry. But a man reaps what he sows.
Indeed. Yeah, I think a lot of times, man, is even when we're going, just going through life in general, we have so many things and so many ways that we want our life to go. And, whether we praying to be with somebody or whether we praying to do this or we praying for our life to go a certain kind of way, and then when it don't go that way, we upset. But then years later on, you're like, well, I'm sure glad I didn't do that. Say thank God for those unanswered prayers. Yeah, but that's me, man. I grew up here in Kansas City, Missouri, my whole life. Born and raised and whatnot, and live here. I don't have the jail story or whatever the case and everything, man. But just being a little knucklehead, doing silly stuff, running around the streets with my homies or whatever the case. But yeah, man, I just had that calling one day to quit playing around, and I ran into a buddy of mine, and he didn't know the Lord, so he kept asking me. He was just like, man, what he was asking me what led me to Christ, and I'm like, what do you mean? He said, like, what, did I get shot or something? He said, yeah, you get shot or and I said, no, man, I didn't have to do all that to, to start going to church, man. You
Right,
just
right.
you just feel that tug, man. When you feel that tug, it's like, okay, all right, it's time to quit playing. Is life about to get for real,
Yeah, some
you
of us
know?
are here. Like I said, guy ain't gave me no leeway. He can't give me no leeway.
Yeah, for sure. No, he couldn't, man. And some people learn, and some people, learn a little different than other folks. You know what I'm saying? And that's generally how I go. Some people they learn, and learn by example. And some people learn by bumping their head over and over and over again.
Right.
You know. So yeah, man. So I'm gonna see if we can reset the show. See if anybody else jumped in real quick. I don't think anybody else jumped in. Mr. Walker, anybody on? Okay, okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll run it then. They got 30 minutes to jump on. So we run. So so some of the artists, man, that kind of swayed you in the whole gospel arena, man. What are some of the music that you listen to, man? The gospel artists or whatnot.
It was really my guy Ryan Upton. I think he's supposed to be on here. Ryan
Okay,
Upton. Yeah, he was with a group called God's Anointed Soldiers. And
okay.
I went to Blue Valley Park, and what caught my attention is that they had Tupac beats in the background.
Uh,
So I started paying attention, and
right.
he gave me a CD. At that time I'm still kind of messing up, but I'm going to Graceway Church,
Okay.
working at GM at the parts plant. What's crazy is they had this men's meeting they was gonna do on Saturday mornings. I
Yeah.
decided to go.
Yeah.
Like a year or two after I got this CD from this guy. Graceway is a big church. There's like
Yeah.
150 guys there. At
Yeah.
6 rolling out of my car, but I've been rolling up there bumping this one song on repeat for like a year.
Right.
I go up there, they put 8 of us at a table.
Yeah.
I'm wearing all fatigues that day. That was
Yeah.
just my outfit. My guy that took me up there was like, man, I gotta leave. I got a business meeting because he had an insurance company. Like, can somebody take John on?
Right.
Man, Ryan's sitting at the table. I don't know it. He says, I'll take him home, but I gotta stop at the studio. I do some gospel rap music.
Yeah.
We studio, he had this poster, and it was the poster that was on that seat that like, man, I seen them, you guys hard. He was like, that's us. You guys Anointed Soldier, the new album called War. And I'm wearing all fatigues. I'm like, wow. So at the
Wow.
time, we was talking about problems, and I was able to help everybody in there with a problem because everybody was talking about cheating on their wives or stuff like that. And I ended up
Yeah.
having a baby in 2009 by a girl that was married. So I was able to tell them why you don't want to go down that road, but I never talked about myself. Ryan knew that I was still
Right.
whatever I was selling,
Right.
whatever I was doing, he knew about it.
Right.
And he was like, man, here's a box of CDs. I started selling CDs. So
Wow.
it's like God kind of interrupts stuff and gives you something to do for him. So man, it's not as good.
Man, hey, bro, that's a story right there, man.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, man, listen, Mr. Walker, I think another, okay, yeah, but that's dope, man. Because I tell you what, when I started listening to it, man, when I was listening to when I was listening to the Cross Movement, I was listening to Petty, Little Rascal, the Ambassador, Lecrae, man, all them hip hop artists, man. I had to because if I did, man, it was different than what I listened to growing up. So then I found out that we had gospel rap, in Kansas City, and I didn't really know who a lot of them were. So I was just trying to find out who's what. But for sure, definitely, man, I noticed we got some pretty dope people, man. And I like what you just spit just a minute ago. But we got another guest on the studio, in the studio, actually, on the chat right now. This is Mr. Jesse Fassy. How you doing, sir?
What's up with you, brother, man? How y'all doing on here?
Man, doing good. How you doing to the missus?
I'm all right. How's everybody?
What's going on? Yeah, man, we were just sitting back, getting a little story about a little backdrop on John and everything, and had him spit a verse for us just a minute ago, man. So yeah.
Yeah, he the truth. Hey, that's Minister John, God's disciple, man. He the truth, man. I've been telling him for a long time. Hard-working man, and also working hard for God, man. You know what I'm saying? He's also a minister over at my home church here in Kansas City, and that's St. Jude Memorial, man. Yeah. And hey, he not only got them lyrics for God, he also preaches too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was telling a little bit about his backstory, man, kind of going through a kind of rough spot and everything, and then trying to, figure it out and really, been led to God, man. And John, I guess I didn't ask you that, John. Who led you to God, man? What was it? I know you talking about the Bible study with Jesse and everything. So, man, what was it that really kind of tugged on you, bro?
My mom had me in church my whole life. It's just the Bible says train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's older, he shall not depart from it. So
yeah,
she put me up in church, but until I was older, I strayed, but I never departed from it. I came back to it. It really took being in prison, being in Supermax for 2 years and 2 months, to where I was on 24-hour lockdown. My mom kept sending me. I was like, I'm gonna read these books. I'm gonna read this word. I'm gonna watch Christian television for a year and see what that does. Yeah. And I really had a spiritual awakening and started changing some of my ways. And it's a journey from there.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, man. not only did your mother put that hook in you, but also, John, man, is a thing about God, man. He changes people from the inside out. And a lot of time, man, people try to fix up the outside and then hope that the outside will make the inside feel better. And it only does that for so long. But thinking about God is God works on the heart, man, and you begin to that begins to kind of show out to everybody else, and that's the beautiful thing about God and everything, man. That's dope, man. Jesse, can you add to that?
Oh yeah, man. Like John said, man, if you didn't know, me and John met while we was incarcerated. Mm-hmm. We got incarcerated together, and God put us together. And I believe that all work of God starts within. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And this guy, I have seen this guy. I know when he was straddling, and then he came, and I know when now he's on the, you know what I'm saying, he's doing what it takes to make sure that he put God first. Yeah. But while we on here, I want to say thank you, Brother John, because you also kept me in line, man, where you held me accountable to I had to be a part of the rim, because I had to help him. He used to call me, hey man, hey, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Can you help me with here? And I'll be like, dang, boy, like I'm going through something too, but that helped me to study and to stay strong in the spirit, because he was relying on information that I had to give to him. You know what I'm saying? So it kept me, and I thank you for that, bro. For real, bro.
Yeah. That's good. that's good. Yeah, that's good, man. So give somebody flowers while they do, man. That they can smell them, whatnot. That's important, and man, men, man, we can celebrate each other, man.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Like I was telling like I was telling John, I lost a good friend of mine, man. We buried him last week. You know, he was in the streets, but he changed his life. You know, got married and had kids. Was a youth pastor, and the whole nine, man. And the thing that really struck me is, you know, how many men were emotional behind that, man. Oftentimes, when you go to funerals, a lot of times you see like the women that are really emotional. But I said, man, these are men that are really hurting because of this brother. And that is say that, you know, said, you know, we man, men got feelings too.
Hey, to
You
touch
know,
on that, do you believe that men are growing up uh in a way the toughness is all because of how the structure that was above us, right?
uh-huh.
If we was taught if you don't be tough, you don't show no feelings. You don't
Yeah,
show no feelings towards the next man that make you look soft. Do you
right.
believe that's because of the teaching or that's how manship is?
Man, that's a good question. I think it's man. I think it's that whole macho complex, man. It's that whole macho, that whole male ego situation, man. You know, men are supposed to be tough, you know, and not show feelings and things like that. Or like you said, if you do show feelings, then you kind of soft.
Right.
You know, well, because you know, because men are natural predators, men are natural protectors. You know, men are natural. Men, we are natural territorial. So you know, a lot of times, men, you know, when we go to war, you know, a lot of times you go to war, you see men going to war. So you know, to show another man's your weakness or your you know your vulnerability, you know, you think that that's that's a spot where he can come in and attack you. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
to show that is just like, nah, I can't show that, man. And it carries us for the rest of our life. And it's, you know, that's tough, man. John, what do you think about that?
I
Yeah, that's
mean, yeah, I think that's what they teach us to be tough, to be strong, not to cry. But at the same time, I see some good in that too because if the devil see a weakness in you, he gonna have something to attack.
woo.
Yeah, for sure.
Joy, that smile on your face, you don't let the circumstances bother you. That's why joy is different than happiness. Happiness is circumstantial. Joy is from God. And if you keep that joy going,
Yeah,
like Jesse said, I used to call him all the time about my problems.
yeah,
Now I barely even know my problems.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, so that question, Jesse, I'm gonna ask your wife that same question, man. Just as far as a man, you know, kind of showing these emotions and things like that. As a woman, how do you feel about that?
About as far as like men having to be or portraying to be the tough role. I think it's
Yeah,
just
you
men.
know, like you know, we say, yeah, boy, what's wrong with you? Quit crying.
I feel like it's just like
Why you crying so much, man?
is
Golly.
that the man is supposed to be the tough one, or I don't know. I think it's just that's how people portray it as that, and that's how it just come off.
I think it's a balance. I think it's a
Yeah,
balance. I think it's a balance. I think you know you shouldn't be so tough to where you know you don't want to be
so where people don't
tough.
want to be around you, stuff like that.
Exactly. Right. You know you don't want to be so tough where your hard as nails, but then again you don't want to be so soft where
Right, to where people always
gets in
take,
your
to where people take it
everything
kind of
gets
for weak.
right
Right.
right. Everything gets y'all in your feelings, man. What's wrong with you? Straighten up. But yeah, go ahead. Oh, okay. So John talked a little bit about the event that you got coming up, man. Let's talk about that, Jesse.
Yeah. Man, we got a nice explosion. That's what we're gonna call it, the family come together explosion.
What's
And
up, man?
it's yeah, he gotta be seen, man. It don't matter
Yeah,
where it is, how we got it
yeah.
going. He gotta be the center of attention.
That's yeah.
But yeah, we have it. It's a community event for the 4th of July where everybody can come out. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have games. We're gonna have music. We're gonna have everything. it's free. It's a free event. It's going to be at
Wilson Park off
Wilson Park.
Stadium Drive. And we're going to also have service that morning at 10:30 a.m. We would love for everybody to come out. John's going to be one of the artists performing. Y'all heard him freestyle or spit something that came from his mental. So y'all know it's going to be live in the music area. And we also going to have horses and all kind of things going to be happening.
Clowns going to be out there with balloons and stuff. Bouncy houses and the word, of course.
But the reason of this event is because we believe that we all should come together. We everybody is celebrating, you know how people celebrate at home with their family and things of that nature, and on those days. But we believe that if we all come together, it'll be less violence. Everybody be chilling with each other. You know, it don't matter what community you're from. You're welcome to this community event.
Yeah. Community is important, man. I think this would be pretty dope, man. Just off of strength that I mean we may make it, but I think this would be for anybody that can make it, like so Wilson Park on July the 4th, 10:30 a.m. I think the beauty in this is, you know, like you talked about being a community event free, huh? I think this is important because, you know, obviously we come through Corona, we come through the whole thing, man, and I talked about this before, man. It's you know, it's like you know, during Corona, man, like everybody was being put on punishment, and we ain't done nothing wrong. You know, that's like when you sit there, you know, you gotta self quarantine, you gotta be by yourself, you can't get around anybody, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. You know, and I think you know, we've never been built that way. We've always been built a way for a community, you know what I'm saying, for us to really network with people, man, for us to kind of hang out with people, talk to people, you know what I'm saying, get a feel for people, you know, and I think that's what's important about your event, man, and that why we scheduled this interview is because that is important, you know. We got to get back to that, you know, and oftentimes is even just going into the summer as well. We're pretty much into the summer right now, but this about that is, you know, we've been so distant from everybody. I mean, even before Corona, man, you know, we've seen, you know, our violence, you know, we've seen, you know, gun violence, we've seen, you know, just violence in general. It ain't slowed down.
And that's one of the reasons why me and my wife started doing the events. It really wasn't violent, period, that we were targeting. It was more of the youth violence, you know, because it's a lot of, like we were saying, the young man believe that it's about being tough. It's about who's the next tough person and this, that, and the other. And we were putting things together to show that the way you are tough is by utilizing your brain. If you're dead, you can't utilize your brain for the next time. You know what I'm saying? So the things that are caused of these things is a lot of people have positive events, they say. But what goes on at the events as far as the music and things of that nature, everything has to be positive. Everything. So the positive spirit can flow through it. And that's what really made us start doing these events, because the youth violence.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. Energy, man. It's energy, you know, positive energy, positive vibes. You know, that's true. You know, that people don't sometimes people don't realize that, man, that energy, that stuff that you put out there, bro, you can feel that. Like just like you can feel hate, just like you can feel when somebody hates you, you can feel when somebody genuinely cares about you, man.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times, you know, if it's just cavalier, or if it's just chauvinistic, man, people know how you really feel, man. And I know that. I mean, like I was telling John, I've had you know, you all on the show a couple times, man. And I was asking them about was it Versus, man? How are they doing?
Oh man, they still working, man. They got a couple. We actually gonna work on this new single we're gonna have for them for this next year coming up. And they gonna be back out. Well, they actually doing the shows and stuff with us. But as far as new music, we gonna wait until next year. But they are growing, man. They've been hitting these stages and and doing little radio interviews and stuff, man. Ever since they hit yours, man, you was the first to give them an interview, bro.
Yeah, that was dope, man. They spit a little rhyme on thing, man. I said, man, listen to these little bitty voices. These little bitty voices, man. But that was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. That's what, and that really, man, that really goes back to what John said earlier, man. You know, you train up a child. You know, some of his upbringing, man, just his mother training him, you know, in the gospel and things like that, and him and getting older and kind of deviate off the course. But it's just like, you know, you deviate, but it's just like, come on back. Every time you deviate, it's come on back. And it oftentimes is when God got that hook in you, brother, you can't go too far, man.
That's
You
true,
just
because
can't.
once it's in you, look, people don't understand. The spirit can never be on you. It's always in you.
Yeah.
Once something get in you, that's like an infection or a disease. When something get in you, that's different from on you. If this clothing was in me, you can't get it out of me.